Welcome everybody to J Moore Reacts. I'm your host J Moore, and today we're taking a look at a video from Andrew Fraser regarding Indonesians tofu ticking time bomb. All right, man. Plenty of people over there are getting poisoned every single day by the damn tofu. Did y'all know that? I did not know that, bro. You feel me? I know that a lot of areas in the country, they actually make a lot of dishes that we don't make over here in America. You feel me? But I never thought that they would have to result to, super dire situations to continue to make certain products that people love, to this extent. All right, man, we're gonna go ahead and hop into the video, man. If you're new to the channel, man, like, follow, subscribe, and also turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss one of my uploads, man. We finna go ahead and hop into the video, man. Let's get it. Right.
There is plastic fumigated tofu that is quietly feeding and poisoning entire cities. And I'm not being sensationalist, because in this video, I'm going to prove it to you. We're visiting the global epicenter of toxic tofu, Surabaya.
So what he's saying is, he's not saying, correction, fix that real quick. Now, what he's saying is, he's not saying that they're making tofu with plastic, okay? Not in the traditional way, okay? What he's saying is, the plastic is used as a burning agent to manufacture the tofu, and with it being made in these facilities, which are usually like small little metal top facilities that don't allow the smoke to kind of burn off properly, or there's no situations to whereas it's preventing the tofu from getting cross-contaminated with the fibers and stuff like that fall from the ground after plastic is burnt, also being in contact with the fumes and stuff like that. You feel me? It contaminates the tofu, with them being made so close together. It's contaminating it. You feel me? And with that situation going on, with them burning this plastic and everything, and it's being so close to this food and people are eating it, it definitely has devastating results. Kids have birth defects, people become infertile, people become sick in that region, and all types of stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Because not only people are eating it, people are also being around those fumes 24 hours a day to make that product. You feel me? So it's really devastating all around the board. But whenever they're pushed into dire situations, man, they got to do what they got to do. So we gotta respect it. You feel me? But let's hop into the video, man.
And here we'll see village after village that have giant industries producing industrial quantities of toxified tofu.
Wow.
Spoiler alert, it involves burning a lot of plastic. And we're going to be following it from just the raw curd through to the final crispy fried blocks.
Okay.
Right off the heat. It's really good.
And taking a look into the science that has been done in these areas and see why this is very likely to be a real bad idea with some pretty serious consequences.
Yeah, because as we all know, man, plastic and food do not mix. Plastic and bodies do not mix. You feel me? And we've already noticed that, several different companies of, different aspects have all tried to put plastic inside of food, and it has resulted in stuff like this, babies being born with defects, people becoming infertile, people losing their eyesight, people getting cancer and all this stuff, man. So, but they never seem to get in trouble for stuff like this when they do stuff like this, and because they can't tie those situations directly to the actual company that caused it, essentially. So they essentially get away with it, but it shouldn't be that way. You go out there poisoning people and putting people's lives in jeopardy and shit, like their health and stuff like that. You deserve to fucking have your ass handed to you whenever the court system catch up with your ass, because this right here, this is messed up, man. This is disrespectful. This is disrespectful as fuck to the community and to yourself, because these people are making it. They're sitting there making food around this shit, versus like, okay, like say for instance, if underneath the floor there was a chamber where they burnt the plastic, but it separated the actual process of being cooked away from the actual burning fumes, and the ore off those fumes and stuff like that. Oh yeah, you know, because what I'm thinking in my head is, if there's like a closed room, you got a room in here, boom, you got like, you know, ventilation, of course. So then while you making it is you know, burning off any kind of steam, and it's going out the room and stuff like that. And then underneath the flow, there's where they throw in the plastic. See, then there's, you know, of course, around that there's a way to be able to kind of let it kind of breeze off and get to, you know, some type of little chamber or something like that where that gets burned off. So if you're burning it off, and they basically, if you're burning it off and it's not cross contaminating, you feel me, then it wouldn't be that bad. But see, they don't have facilities like that. They basically got these small little makeshift huts to be able to make this product. You feel me? So they have no choice but to deal with it. But let's continue through the video, man. It's pretty crazy though.
We'll do,
because I mean, it's not necessarily like it's impossible to do it and not poison your people. It's just the resources that it takes to make something like that is you know, it's not cost efficient, I guess. You feel me? So, but let's continue.
We probably shouldn't. And take a bite of this stuff, like millions do here on the side of the streets, and see just why, despite knowing exactly where this comes from, that people ignore it, and why it's very, very unlikely to change.
Yeah.
Let's roll. Indonesia eats a lot of tofu.
And then, but to be totally honest and to be kind of neutral about the situation, shit, that's a lot of stuff that we eat on a daily basis that we don't necessarily know what's made around it or what's put in it and stuff like that, and we still eat it every single day. So we can't necessarily knock them just because, you know, of their scenario, when the companies that we actually get this food. Now I can't blame these places right here for doing it, because if they did, because they are not $1 million corporations doing that shit. You feel me? We in America, we have $1 million freaking corporations giving us that same fucking slop. Like they making them in the huts. No, man, they have big ass fucking warehouses making this poisonous shit. Actually giving it to you. Not just not having a choice. They got a choice. You feel me? They got the money. They just choose to poison their people because they can't tie whatever sickness that they get after they done fucking ate it back to the company. You feel me? And even if they could, it's all about, you know, what you choose to eat, what you choose to put in your mouth. You feel me? So it leaves the responsibility away from the company and more on the consumer. You feel me? So shit crazy, bro.
Especially here in the east of Java, in Surabaya and the surrounding area. It is Indonesia's second largest city, and you will find it everywhere. Fried, grilled, in soups, in snacks. It is a staple. And the supply chain...
And see, another thing is too, and I'm gonna stop for a little while and pause in the video. Another thing is too, they obviously have very good recipes to make these products, you know, because they got a lot of people wanting them. You know, they made a whole business out of making tofu or tofu oriented products, and people are buying them. So with that being said, why not make a product that would make the community more healthier? Because it's made like a soybeans and I think like a congealant of some sort. It's essentially made out of natural products. You feel me? So why not make it out of the actual products that it's made out of versus, you know, putting it in these weird type of situations where it's not as healthy as it should be, you know. But yeah, man, somebody got a good fucking recipe, but they messing it up because it's getting poisoned every single day whenever they make it, because it's so close to that damn plastic getting burned off. So yeah, man, that sucks. That really and truly sucks. And see this little area right here. You see how I'm gonna go ahead and back it up real quick. You see this little area right here, probably like warehouse central. This probably the little industrial area. And even though it looks big, because I see smokestacks. Let's look around real quick. Y'all see these smokestacks all the way back there? It probably is, but I only see because these look like houses over here, like houses. But see, you got smokestacks here, a little over here, a little over here. So yeah, there's like warehouse industrial city right here in this little area. So, and then, you know, it don't look like nothing getting burned off over there. Maybe something over there, but yeah, they out here making money and trying to feed their families and stuff like that. But hey, bro, everything being so close, it's gonna get poisoned regardless, dog. It's gonna get poisoned. And them folks is doing what they supposed to do, and and nobody correcting them, and ain't nothing gonna change because everybody satisfied, everybody complacent, essentially, you know.
These tofu villages that surround the city's fringes.
You can sort of see the smokestacks as you walk through the village.
Just these huge plumes of black smoke rising out of chimneys across the villages. Thick, greasy smoke.
Yeah.
It swirls in the heat, and it looks like the village is full of tiny coal plantations, not food factories.
Guys, these factories behind me are making one of the most eaten foods here in Indonesia, tofu.
Here's the core issue. Making tofu at this scale requires a lot of heat. Massive boilers running non-stop.
Yeah.
Huge woks to deep fry the product. And to keep the costs down, they rely on whatever is cheapest.
What is this?
So basically, plastic being consistently available as a burning agent, they get either another company to shred it up and they pay for it, or they shred it up themselves and use that plastic as fuel to be able to make this tofu. So like I was saying before, it's not that they're putting the plastic directly into it, but with it being made so close together, it's basically slim to none that you're going to get a piece of tofu that don't got plastic in it. You feel what I'm saying? Just because they're so close together. So
This is coconut? Or no, that's the trash as well.
The trash. Here. So the plastic, local.
Local plastic. Here in and around Surabaya, actually, they have a relatively efficient plastic industry. Like, it is used for everything, and anything that does have a purpose other than burning will likely be used for that purpose. And as I've heard from the owner, they use a mix here of wood, coconut, which you maybe see on top of the burner.
But the most reliable and consistent fuel is plastic.
So basically, he's saying that they have a very strong plastic manufacturing industry around that vicinity, to whereas plastic always is available in abundance. So they're utilizing the plastic to burn to make another product. Okay, that's what they're doing. All right, so let's continue moving.
Waste. They feed these boilers and these deep fryers with it all day long.
One thing that is kind of nuts to me is just like the amount of fuel that is required to keep this tofu factory going. That boiler, I mean, it really is just like an old school steam train. Like, the thing is absolutely massive. It has two guys just rotating full time, loading up these coconut husks and bags of plastic, and it rolls all day long. And this entire village is filled with them. There are 56 factories, I believe they said, that are just filled with trash burners. Absolutely wild. And look, I don't love to take arguments on the climate change side of things. I do think it's a little bit of a cult at this point, but let me tell you, going for those plastic straws, I don't think it's gonna make a difference, guys. I really don't.
All these factories run in a pretty similar manner. At their core is a giant boiler. That boiler feeds steam through metal pipes.
I would imagine that the economy has adapted so much to this small, meticulous type of corruption. If it was changed at a massive scale, all of these certain different aspects of straight chaos like this in all realms, it probably will make the economy crash any fucking way, just because it's already done adapted to all of the bullshit going on. You feel me? What people like, say for instance, if they just totally changed up their method of making this tofu without the plastic being involved, then a lot of those companies that do this plastic burning, they would probably end up closing down and not being able to kind of retrofit the new type of technique to their company, you know, and they'll start losing money and they'll just close down. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by it'll affect it more than it would hurt it, just because it's already adapted to it. You feel me? So let's keep it going.
Across the entire space, and it connects to each individual workstation.
The boiler ends back there, and you have this one line that runs the entire length of the factory.
Really?
So this factory seems to be set up very differently from any other tofu factory I have seen before. It's sort of like each person is running their own individual station, and they are going to do 90% of the steps to take the bean, curd, juice, somebody correct me in the comments, through to the complete white tofu.
I built this
I would
website
say it
in
was
5
curd,
minutes
too.
with Wix Harmony. So I came across this image recently and thought to myself, what if I built an entire brand?
These workstations consist of 3 concrete vats.
Okay.
The first one is like a pure boiler. This is where all of the tofu is going to get loaded and steamed up. They have a fresh water tub right next to it. And then a third one, which is where they're going to do most of the kind of coagulation and draining. Let's see each step broken down.
First, the soybeans are soaked and then ground into a thick paste. The paste
Okay,
gets
so we got
dumped
soybean
into
paste.
a boiling vat
Looking
and
healthy so
brought to a
far.
rapid simmer by that live steam pipe. They're basically giant steam wands frothing up industrial-sized lattes.
Honestly, I can see why all these guys are shirtless. It is absolutely cooking in here, just the heat, the steam under this sort of asbestos roofing. And man, I wish I could rip my shirt off right now as well. This is wild.
Oh, wow.
Once it's
Oh,
boiled,
wow. Wow. Yeah, it's definitely hot in there, bro. It looks like, because every process seems like it has to keep the, even if it's with the, using the product in a liquid form or making it into a harder form, it has to be a certain temperature. It cannot cool down, otherwise it won't taste the same, or the texture won't be the same. You know, it might be a little bit more gamey if it you know, cools down and stuff like that. So they try to make sure that they keep it rotating at the appropriate temperatures all the way until it's a finished product, when it's like a little, you know, little soft little bar type deal. You feel what I'm saying? So let's continue.
they either scoop the milk or just straight pump it through one of these cheesecloth hammocks that are hanging above the curdling vat. Workers then swirl it around in this circular motion, forcing the thinner liquid through the cloth, while the solid stuff stays trapped. Eventually, they wring it tight, twisting it like laundry,
What he has balled up right there, that's waste.
and they're left with this puck of soybean pulp.
That remaining solids from the tofu is often turned into a kind of tempeh, although also apparently it's just kind of given to animals. So it's sort of a waste product.
Yes, this is for human, and then this is for the cow, and then the what? Oh, pig too. Yes.
I'm so confused. So you're telling me that they basically weighted the water off of the actual soybean paste that they created, essentially, and they took the actual soybean product and called it waste? That makes no sense. So you have a product that's kind of healthy. It's basically just soybeans, but they're going to throw it away, or they're probably going to make it into like animal feed or something like that, while they give their people the poison plastic tofu. It's fucking crazy.
But back to the tofu.
So in these blue drums, in between these sort of stations, is the coagulant. We're going to pump a certain amount of that in with the sort of strained tofu liquid, and now we wait.
The strained milk gets coagulant added. It's scooped from these large blue barrels that are placed next to each of the stations.
We should now be able to see, once the tofu has really started coagulating, they're able to just skim off any of the froth that's remaining on top, and you really see quite quickly the separation of the tofu and just the water that's remaining within the coagulation drum. So this tofu is already starting to really separate. You can start to see a watery surface on there, and underneath it is the sort of solidifying tofu.
They remove as much water as possible, and then the curdled tofu mixture is poured into these presses that are lined with cheesecloth. They wrap it up, stack them, and they do this over and over until they have a batch of around 9 molds. The weight from each of these presses forces out the liquid, which just gushes across these tiled channels on the floor.
You can sort of see the rotating nature of this production. This guy is scooping out the coagulated tofu into the presses, and at the same time he's already preparing his next batch for boil. So again, they really do just There's no waste of time here. It's not like they finish one batch completely and then start.
Wow. So he's basically saying that they're just working like a fucking machine in there. Everybody's just doing their own part, dropping things in the water, picking things out, adding oil, adding butter, whatever the case may be, and they're just making this product in abundance, man. That's pretty wild. But that's crazy because all of these guys, it takes all these guys to make this product, but yet they just cannot avoid putting the fucking plastic fuse inside of it. Fucked up. Because I mean, they work hard on this product, and then it sounds like it's actually a good product, but it's toxic nevertheless.
The next one up. As soon as one of the vats is free, it's getting utilized right away for the next batch. One batch after the other, endlessly.
And the working conditions here are, I mean, they're intense. The floor is soaked and slippery. There is steam everywhere. The sun just beats through the busted asbestos roofing. And the air is this humid mix of soy, sweat, cigarette, and plastic smoke.
It's remarkable how much.
He got it right. He got it right. He hit it right on the head. Earlier, I was basically saying that there are several different things besides just the plastic that goes inside this tofu, like people sweating in it, or people smoking cigarettes around it, or something just falling from the ceiling, you know, just because there's so much soot just building up on the ceiling, some stuff falling right back into the product. Like, bro, you never know, man. Like, oh my Lord Jesus Christ, man. There's a lot that goes into this tofu making.
These places remind me of Dobby Gat's, the laundry slum in Mumbai. I don't know what it is. I think it's like the steam, the heat, the wetness, all this moisture everywhere. Just that same kind of vibe.
Once the tofu is fully pressed, it's cut using barbecue grates as a template. And from there, it's either dumped into these brine tanks and sent off to the market where it can be sold fresh, or it's headed to the fryers. And these deep fryers are where things get even more intense.
I've kind of become numb to it. You just have this yet another giant workshop. Here we have all of the tofu makers cranking along with their stations. We have two giant trash boilers here. And then behind me, the sort of final step, the deep fryers.
In each factory, there's a whole section devoted to the fry. Rows of oversized woks bubbling away with oil. The air is just thick with smoke. There's no fuel here, no wood. It's not gas. It is heaps of burning plastic. Right there, fed directly.
See, like, yeah, it's not necessarily their actual product, the actual plastic that they're putting inside of the product. It's just they're using it as the fuel, right? But if they had like a facility where they had, you know, gas being filtered to these little, you know, heating areas to where they can make this product sufficiently, I'm pretty sure that they will make a pretty decent, healthier product. Like, for real, man. So, yeah, man, I don't know what part of the country of Indonesia this part is from, but they really need to start helping this part out. The other parts that got a little bit more money, y'all need to help them out, man, because they the ones that's making y'all food, dog. I'm just saying.
To the flame.
Builders. It's not our job title. It's a mindset. Base 44.
Let me tell you guys, like, you instantly know you are in one of these villages. Like, there's no hiding it. It's got that tinge, you know, that horrible smell when you start burning plastic. Just in your gut, you know it's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's going on. You ain't supposed to be breathing this air. That is the smell of these entire villages.
The air is just
That's
thick
bad.
with this black smoke, and the smell of burning plastic is everywhere. And it mixes with the grease and the frying oil, and it kind of just sticks to your skin. And still, weirdly enough, I can kind of understand how these locals get used to it. After 30 minutes or so, it just sort of fades
Probably
into
just
the
not that
background.
bad.
But the truth is that this
And
stuff
also,
is not
and
harmful.
also with it probably being a source of income for several different people. You know, some people probably come and buy it, take it to other regions where they don't have it and sell it. You feel what I'm saying? And then other people that are in the vicinity that actually do eat it on a daily basis, they also make revenue from them too. So it's kind of a weird catch-22. And you know, with stuff like this, I would wish that the system would change to where these places got like some kind of like a stipend to be able to build on the company, so then they don't have to sit here and poison their people and poison their community. You feel me? Like I wish that for them, because a lot of these people that work in these facilities, they're willing to, risk their lives. Not saying that it's good, but they willing to work really hard to make sure that they're able to feed their family. So with that being said, it should be somebody that's in charge that holds the value of their safety as much as making the revenue. You feel me? And then other companies that's willing to cooperate, in other aspects to get that situation done to where it's everybody safe. You know what I mean? But man, let your boy know what you think in the comments, man. I thank you guys so much, man. Right now, dog, we're at 26 followers right now, man. I do apologize, man. I was taking a little break, man, trying to help my kids out and stuff like that, and I got a lot of stuff going on at home, but it's okay though. It's okay. It's all good, man. Your boys gonna start dropping these videos a little bit more, man. But until next time, man, peace out. Y'all stay blessed up, dog. And if y'all gotta go get some tofu, don't get it from Indonesia, because they probably gonna try to poison you. All right, man. Peace out.